come onto the stage here today and share some insights from SAP. Also, I want to thank SAP Insider for the fantastic service that they provide to SAP, and of course the customers around the world have benefited from not just this event, but of course the whole series of events that have been put on over the last few years. Now, as I was thinking about my presentation today, the one sort of overarching theme that I was thinking through was this whole notion of digital and digital disruption. Now, digital isn't new. Of course, many of us have experienced some elements of digital, and of course, digital has been pervasive for a number of industries for a number of years. But it's no point in time have we had such, if you like, a catalyst for change taking place now. And with SAP focusing on digitalization of itself first and foremost, and then helping all of our customers, this is partly what I want to describe to you today, this whole digitalization and the imperative to go digital. Now, if I look at the starting point, really, if you look at this from a personal point of view, the leisurely pursuit of running. Everybody in this room probably has some physical exercise regime, I hope you do. At least me, I'm getting older. I had a bit of a setback earlier in the year. I had a frozen shoulder for the better part of about a year. And then getting back into doing exercise again, it's incredible to see how much more physical therapy and, of course, capabilities are out there from a digital perspective to help you recover even faster. Now, if you look at running is one of those things where it's been somewhat of a, almost a lone thing to do over the years. The only the accompanying thing that you take with you was maybe a stopwatch. That was probably the most digital thing you carried with you. And you maybe take a lap time every now and then, and you would stop and start and try and keep your performance up over a long period of time. But now what we have is potentially we have millions of runners across the world, potentially capturing billions of data points about their performance. And then what these runners are doing, they're collaborating with a network of other runners and athletes, and you're getting doctors and care workers and all sorts of people looking and providing more insights and guidance to them so they can really increase their performance. Now, around this whole sort of digitization, what we're also seeing is a whole host of service partners. So everything from the provider of your t-shirt or your shoes, all the way through to, if you like, the Fitbit that you now put on your wrist to capture some vitals. All of this information is coming together in such a way that we're creating a digital network. And this is a completely new, reimagined way of doing exercise, and a completely new, reimagined way that we're actually living our lives, ultimately looking for well-being about the whole process. So if we're being affected individually, if we take a look at some of the overarching trends that we're also able to look at from a digitalization point of view, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time and just frame this for you. Starting off with hyperconnectivity. So the notion of hyperconnectivity is really talking about the fact that users are connected to information, and information is pretty much pervasive now. In fact, I read one study, approximately 95% of the world's inhabitable landmass is covered by some cellular or wireless connectivity. So you pretty much are connected any and everywhere. And we're not just connecting ourselves to the user data that we currently own, we're actually generating more data as well. So we're actually having hyperconnectivity, both consuming and also creating of content. If we take a look at the supercomputing aspects around us, it's no longer the case where computing was only reserved for your desktop or maybe even in the palm of your hand. We're now actually having embedded devices, lots of smart devices